Great. Well, we'll now hear from our remaining registered speakers, first in person and then from Zoom. We'll call the in-person speakers to the microphone in groups, beginning with the speaker numbers 1 through 10. We have seats in the front row reserved for the next group of speakers, so please occupy those seats if you're up next. Please come to the microphone in your number order and then state your name. Before we do that, though, I want to welcome Congressman Christian Menefee, who is here. Thank you, and if you'd like to address the group, come on up.
All right, good evening. Congressman Christian Menefee, 18th Congressional District. A few of the schools that were mentioned as being part of the shutdown program are in the 18th Congressional District. I know that Trustee Mendoza mentioned that communication has been part of the main criticism throughout this process. I will tell you, I'm pretty engaged, and my first time hearing about this was about an hour ago. And I had to rush down here to try to figure out exactly what's going on. I heard a comment from Ms. Arnold that perhaps you all aren't voting on this tonight, and I don't know how the internal procedures work, but it doesn't seem like this has been very clearly communicated to folks in the community, and like they're getting an opportunity to meaningfully participate in the process. You all know that since the takeovers happened, many people feel like it's been a stripping of our democratic opportunity out here in the Houston area. And then you got another set of people who think that this is really just about closing down a bunch of schools so that we can turn this into just a charter system across the entire district. When you have something that's like it's in the dead heat of the night and it's not properly noticed and people aren't given an opportunity to engage, you just further that type of thinking. So my ask to y'all would be to slow down. And allow people to come up here to have their voice heard and to make this process feel like it's more collaborative instead of it's already a done deal and these kids and these families are going to have to just figure it out. So thank y'all. Christian Menefee, happy to be here. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, you can start the first group.
I'd like to invite speakers 31 to 40 to the front row, please. And we'll begin with number 31. Ms. Nuncio, go ahead. Ms. Nuncio, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Carmen Nuncio. I'm Mr. Miles. I am sure you're tired of me being here at every board meeting, but I'm tired of being here also. Why do you continue to put our kids, teachers, and principals last? You just got a huge bonus that you do not deserve. Our kids, because our kids are not getting the education that they deserve. That money could have been used in our classrooms or for our teachers. As a 51-year volunteer, it hurts me so much to see what you are doing to our kids. Again, stop thinking about the almighty dollar and please start thinking about our kids' education and their future. Every night before I go to bed, I keep thinking to myself, there's got to be something that we can.
Thank you. Thank you.
Andre Taylor. I'm an advocate with Houston Parent in Action Network. I want to speak on the support on expanding college credits opportunities for students. It is one of the most strategic steps that I have seen in a long time. This issue is personal for me, but because I was a kid that was involved within the system while navigating through education. I was not behind academically, but I was behind within home issues, and it affected me within navigating through my education. Opportunities like this give equality to students who are navigating through education. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board. Hi, my name is Taiwanikwa, and I am an advocate with the Houston Parent Action Network. I want to speak about college readiness. First, I want to recognize the progress the district has made. More students are earning college credit while still in high school, and that matters. Early access to college coursework expands opportunity, builds confidence, and opens doors for the future. At the same time, students receiving special education services are still participating at significantly lower rates. As we celebrate the overall gains, we must also be clear about where gaps remain. Access to college credit should not depend on a student disability status. While the right encouragement, accommodations, and intentional outreach, students in special education can thrive in advanced coursework. We have seen that success. Our goal should not only be to increase participation overall, but
Thank you.
Derek Montgomery, followed by Jackie Anderson. Go ahead.
Good evening. Jackie Anderson, President of the Houston Federation of Teachers. On January 21st, 2025, I mailed Mr. Miles referencing Trump's executive order to allow ICE arrest in schools and churches. He replied that staff had been trained. I could find no one to acknowledge this training, not even today. The Chronicle has recently announced that 4,000 immigrant students fear coming to school due to the threat of deportation. HISD has failed to share to parents a commitment for safety. This lack of compassion is leading to educational opportunities being lost, which is a civil right, and funding cuts and the devastating economical harm to the greater Houston community. Mr. Miles, do better.
Thank you.
Dr. Ruth Hoffman-Lack. The 25-26 budget book states that the Chief of Public Affairs is paid $200,000 plus bonuses to engage consistently with external stakeholders, including the board. One indicator of success is at least 6 board members cast votes that align with the administration goals and priorities 100% of the time. The expert on public school law that I consulted said this: an internal performance metric stating that a senior administrator's success is measured by ensuring that at least 6 board members vote in alignment with the administration's goals 100% of the time is highly unusual. That language goes beyond stakeholder engagement or informal sharing and veers into influencing government outcomes, which raises legitimate legal and ethical concerns. If you are still not sure why the entire city voted against the bond, now you know. No trust, no bond.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Julian Platone. I'm a proud teacher at Energy Institute High School. Approving an 1882 partnership with Friends of Energy is essential to protecting the innovative programs that define our campus and ensuring teachers can continue to deliver high-quality learning that our students deserve. Energy thrives because teachers are trusted with curricular autonomy. We design interdisciplinary projects that merge TEKS-aligned science, engineering, social studies, and English into real-world challenges. And that level of innovation cannot happen without the freedom to create authentic learning experiences. But autonomy alone isn't enough. Our cohort-based master schedule provides the dedicated project planning time that builds rigorous PBL units, coordinates field experiences, and prepares students for exhibitions. This planning time is foundational to maintaining project quality, and our model depends on resources, prototyping materials, engineering equipment, technology, and logistics for frequent field experiences, because hands-on learning is the back.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, board members. As a parent, I want to first say thank you. I see the intentional strategies being put in place to help our students not just stay in school, but truly graduate prepared. Please continue strengthening these strategies and expanding access. As a parent, I don't just want to be notified. I want to be involved. Involve parents early, begin these conversations in middle school so families can plan intentionally and understand graduation requirements, college expectations, and industry opportunities. Workshops, step-by-step planning guides, and real-time progress updates can empower parents to support their child academically. Parents who are informed, included, and equipped become powerful partners. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ok. Mi nombre es Maritza Lucio, soy madre de un estudiante de kinder en la escuela Jefferson Elementary, quien tiene una IP. Primero, quiero expresar mi preocupación porque los apoyos que recibe son insuficientes para atender sus necesidades educativas. Quiero informarles que mi hija fue castigada por no terminar un trabajo académico mientras estaba en proceso de evaluación. Como consecuencia, le quitaron 10 minutos de recreo sentándola aparte de sus compañeros. Mientras cumplía el castigo, fue picada por hormigas en gran parte de sus piernas y otras partes del cuerpo. Por favor, revisen el uso del código de disciplina y aseguren que mi hija tenga un entorno seguro y respetuoso. Mi hija tiene derechos que deben ser protegidos y respetados en todo momento. Estamos hablando de una niña de 5 años que fue expuesta a un riesgo físico.
Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Marisa Lucio, and I am the mother of a kindergarten student at Jefferson Elementary who has an IEP. First, I want to express my concerns that the supports that she receives are insufficient to meet her educational needs. I want to inform you that my daughter was punished for not completing an academic assignment while she was in process of evaluation. As a result, she lost 10 minutes of recess and was seated apart from her classmates. While serving his punishment, she was bitten by ants in a lot of parts of her legs and arms, and a lot of parts of her body. Please review the use of the discipline code and ensure that my daughter has a safe and respectful environment. My daughter has rights that must be protected and respected at all times. We are talking about a 5-year-old girl who was exposed to physical harm. Thank you.
Good evening. As you can tell, I've been waiting a minute. I'm a councilwoman, but I'm also a former teacher at HISD. I'm here to talk about the teachers, the veteran teachers that's been let go due to non-renewals. We got to make sure that what we're doing in the fairest of essence. We've having teachers being let go for no reason because of absences, even with proof, even with necessary documentation. You're letting us go. 2 years left, and then we're getting ready to retire, just like you guys are getting ready to do. But again, you let us go for no reason. That is not right. We're going to have to do things in order. And remember, karma is real. We got to watch how we do, watch how we treat people, and be careful. And remember, it's going to come a time that you're going to need us teachers. Please, these teachers that are special ed teachers you're letting go, don't do that. Bring them back. Let us know as veteran, vibrant teachers that we matter. Yes, certifications matter. Yes, my master's degree matter. You said, hey, you know, you got good uncertified teachers. I disagree. You will not go to a doctor that's not uncertified. So why would you be okay with letting our kids have uncertified teachers?
Thank you.
Christy Brewster. Could speakers 41 through 51 please come to the front row?
Good evening, young folks. I'm your retired school nurse. With February being the month that we honor the legacy of African American heroes, not saying that you're honorable, Floyd, not that you're even a black man, but what do you want people to say about you when you're not above ground anymore and not breathing oxygen? Do you want them to say that you're an encourager, or do you want them to tell the truth, that you were disencouraging, unsupportive, no transparency, firing teachers for anything? Do you want them to say you were honest, or do you want them to tell the truth? Dishonest, gaslighting liar that would do anything to get your way? Do you want him to say you were a mentor? Or do you want him to tell the truth, that you were a meddler, messing with everything you could, tearing up the curriculum, again, not honoring the IEPs or the 504s? What you want to say about you, Floyd?
Thank you. Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, didn't hear my name. Dr. Pamela Bovelin, and I'm here to say I really don't know what to say. Because you all think we don't know what we're talking about. 80 people come up here every month, and you say that they just don't understand. All these people, there's community engagement. Where is that? Can y'all spell that? Because I haven't seen that. And just like they were just saying, we just found out about 12 schools closing. You know, that might have been a conversation we should have been having, like, back in September. But you don't understand. You believe we don't understand. You need to understand we were here before you. All right. Not one of you ever attended a board meeting before you were put here. Not one of you. You don't realize that the way the structure of the...
Thank you.
Ms. Kravitz, followed by Ms. Lucas Roberts. Ms. Kravitz.
Speech. What's the library? During an after-school program, a third grader asked me, what's the library? As we sat in the room formerly known as the library that was filled with books, I gestured around the room and says, here we are, take a look. You check out books out of the library. Take them home and read them and bring them back. His eyes widened and said, wow, we take these home? Sister Mama, we get in trouble if we even touch these books. My eyes watered at his words, and for a brief moment I traveled back to when my ancestors and ancestors would face severe penalties for just having a book. They got their eyes jagged out, they got their hands cut, some were even killed just for having a book. You know what? When the quest for literacy was penalized, chastised, agonized, traumatized, people who were oppressed for the brutal whippings and lashings for having a book. I want to say, will you please leave Project 2025 alone and put our libraries back in the schools? Hate us, Ms.
Thank you. Thank you.
I missed my time. Thanks a lot. It is not your fault that Mauro, a Sam Houston varsity soccer captain and church volunteer, was detained by ICE 2 months ago and has lost 35 pounds since being detained. But it is your responsibility to lead, to say clearly and publicly that immigrant students are safe in our schools. Narcissists make empty promises and believe they are serving us dinner. Here are some of yours. You say that the scripted curriculum is inspiring for kids. Not true. You say the teacher evaluation system was supported by teachers. Not true. You say the data shows our students are doing great. You say that NES parents love the takeover, but NES moms say their older kids were learning to read before the takeover, and now their kids can't. You say demoting high-achieving kids to remedial classes is good for kids, it's good for ratings, it's not for kids. Kids in NES schools should get recess, and they don't, and that's against the law.
Thank you.
Hi, Laura Henry. I'm a mother and an English teacher in another district. I'm not speaking against advanced classes, even for unprepared students who want to be there, but I do want to caution that it's easy for data to become more important than the kids. When the district uses dual credit courses and to get CCMR points, it's very easy to put kids in those classes just to kind of like throw spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks, because if the students pass, the district gets the data. If they don't pass, there's no harm to the district, but there is to the student who failed. Dual credit grades go on college transcripts, so students who fail those courses begin college with failing grades. Similarly, if the high school student makes a C, that goes on the college transcript, but they could have had a higher grade if they hadn't skipped the high school course. Sometimes that has financial aid consequences. Also, sometimes teachers are forced to pass kids or encouraged to pass kids who aren't ready. Then they start out as college juniors without functional skills. So just be really careful. There's kids and there's data, and they're not the same thing.
Thank you.
Page 29 of the agenda, Policy EL, strikes these words. As part of the district's oversight in financial and operational matters, the district reserves the right to engage its internal auditor or an external firm to perform audits of performance campuses. So when Mr. Campo claims from the DACE that HISD will maintain audit rights over the 1882s, he is just lying. These words are deliberately stricken from the policy, and that is not a mistake. Campo also said the contracts would be 5 years. The policy says 10. Why are you saying 5? EL has been presented like 3 times. It says 10 years every time. Tonight it's on page 22. That is deliberate. Mr. Campo, if you agree with me that HISD should have audit rights and shorter 5-year contracts, then you should insist that Miles edit the policy. It is your job to read these policies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ella Taylor, a student from Carnegie Vanguard High School. I helped organize today's sick out. Recently, I've been concerned. Students need to be able to exercise our First Amendment rights. I know adults love to say that students are just walking out because we want to skip class or be troublemakers, that we don't actually care about the issues affecting us, our friends, in our district. But take it from a kid speaking at a meeting here. We do. We need to be heard. We need to learn to be heard in safe ways. I was in a walkout in 9th grade. We spoke out against the takeover and had teacher support, and their advice kept us safe. They made sure our protest happened outside of class hours as well as was organized and followed given rules. No matter what Instagram commenters thought, we were not troublemakers trying to skip school. We skipped lunch in clubs, not classes. Students now have no way to follow rules and protest. You repress their freedom of speech. They aren't going to stay silent. Kids at Sam Houston lost their friend. They aren't going to stay silent. You are giving students no room to express themselves without troublemaking. Please try to minimize punishments and give us guides on how to protest safely.
Thank you.
Dr. Denise Wilborn. I'm going to be reading from Randy Weingarten's book, Why Fascists Fear Teachers, Public Education and the Future of Democracy. Teachers, and I'm going to add, the HISD students, are heroes in the American story. So it's no wonder the villains are attacking us at every turn. We teach the next generation to read, write, and do math, of course, but also to think for themselves, problem solve, and understand and navigate the world around them. We teach young children to be persistent in the face of adversity. We teach them to have empathy and confidence and agency. There is no question that fascists and their enablers will continue to pose an existential threat to our students, our nation, and everything we hold dear. Because
Thank you.
remember, fascists attack teachers not because of anything.
Thank you. Your time is up.
But because everything we do right.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Becky Smith. I'm an HISD parent. Superintendent Miles leads this board by the nose.
He has you change policy after policy to give him complete discretion and control. But you are on the righteous team, and so are his insiders, like 1882 operators and realtors. He gave away HISD's curriculum for free to a friend who sold it for $1 million. He emails his charter superintendent, "Don't panic, see the attached consultant proposal." Within 10 days, he's training the charter folks who gratefully paid for the advice. Isn't there some spidey sense here that he's getting paid for this somehow? Hundreds of millions in our public funds to develop NES, and now it's his to profit from. None of you are going to question that. That's not good governance. That's just fealty. We're closing schools. There's no bond. There's no trust.
Thank you.
Hi, Mindon Tran. I'm an HISD teacher. I want to thank you for adopting the resolution declining a mandatory period of prayer or religious text reading. This action affirms the First Amendment, the Texas Constitution, and the fundamental principle that public schools must protect freedom of belief without coercion. You chose inclusion, dignity, and constitutional clarity, and that matters deeply to our students. At the same time, I want to raise concerns about district leaders warning students of suspension for participating in peaceful walkouts. The Supreme Court was clear in Tinker v. Des Moines that students do not, quote, shed their constitutional rights to freedom of speech or expression at the schoolhouse gate, end quote. Schools may not prohibit student expression based on suspicion or discomfort alone, only when there is evidence of a material and substantial disruption. If we are committed to religious freedom, we must also be committed to free expression. Protecting one constitutional right while chilling another sends a confusing message to our young people. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Ms. Williams, followed by Omer Kaja.
Good evening, Michelle Williams, Houston Education Association. I had my hearing last week, and it's interesting that your former chief of HR, instead of talking about MAP scores, their cabinet is talking about me. Also, your superintendent told his cabinet not to respond to any of my emails. I'm an employee. I want to caution you all, there are consequences for illegal activity in HISD. Consequences that they will bear and you all will bear. Houston ISD will bear the consequences of these illegal activities. And I'm cautioning you all, leave me alone.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Omer Khwaja. I'm a low country attorney speaking about today's procurement agenda. I've reviewed the consent agenda and direct procurement items. You are voting on vendor awards exceeding $1 million, budget amendments, interlocal agreements, and construction policy revisions, all with minimal public deliberation as far as I can tell, because they're bundled on consent. This comes just weeks after you retroactively ratified $870 million in unauthorized contracts, the largest procurement policy violated in HISD history. Superintendent Miles called it a good faith error, but good faith requires corrective action. According to the University of Houston's report published last month, HISD has lost over 13,000 students since the takeover. Nearly 20% of your teachers are uncertified. Parents are fleeing to Fort Bend ISD, Katy ISD, and charter schools because...
Thank you.
Ms. Longoria. Longoria.
Hi, good evening. It's so nice to see all of y'all.
First, I wanted to talk really quick in regards to my neighbor, the Jefferson Elementary School mother, who spoke about recess, and just wanted to go ahead and put you all on notice that next school year, SB 25 goes into effect, which prohibits withholding recess as a punishment. So that's just a heads up for a policy change that will be coming your way. Additionally, I wanted to ask, what board policy are we following for school closures? Are we following board policy? There's a couple of different ones. It was not clear to me which one's in place that we're following. And then also, it says in the board policy that after receiving community input, any recommendation to close or consolidate a campus should be considered for approval by the Board of Education, which is y'all. Is there enough time in this timeline for this? I'm concerned. So, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. This concludes our hearing from speakers.